Hi, this is James.
And this is Tina.
Welcome to
Whatever Topics.
where we'll be talking about
Anything, whatever pops into our head's gonna pop out of our mouth.
Hope you enjoy the show. Hey, Tina.
Hello, my handsome husband, James.
Oh, boy. That was a little bit stretched, but that'll work. Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 3 of Whatever Topics.
Whatever.
So, anyway, somebody told me it depends on what kind of voice you said that in, if it meant different things. So, what do you want for supper? Whatever, And then somebody else says, I'm right. Whatever.
We know that. Whatever.
Whatever. Okay, anyway, whatever. Topics is brought to you every week on several podcasts. It depends on where you like to listen to it, is where you're going to find it at. If anybody needs a new platform to listen to us on, or an app, a phone app or something, let us know, and we'll send you the information how you can find us on other places besides on what's the regular one now?
You do all that dealing.
Holy cow, I got so many.
Spreaker?
Yeah, Spreaker. Oh man, what a little bit.
Long night.
Spreaker is the main one that it goes on, but we're on different phone apps and different other websites. So if you want to go to our Facebook page, it automatically goes on there when we're done, and that is facebook.com/whatever topics, spelled TOPIX. So it stands to reason that we should go on that page. Yeah, they can't see you shaking your head.
Yes.
All right. Well, anyway, hey, we got another request for today's topic.
And you remember what it was?
Yeah, I remember what it was. It's places that we've worked at.
Well, that would be a short list for me because I've never really had to work.
Well, I don't have a 2-hour radio show here either, so I can't. I'm going to start out. I'm going to do one, then you do one, then I'll do one, and you do one.
Well, that's about all I can do.
Oh.
Because most of my life's been spent as babysitting other people's kids.
Well, there you go. That's a job. A big job.
A very big job.
So anyway, I'm going to start out with the first job I ever had. I was like 16.
Oh, I beat you.
Maybe 15.
Go for it.
Working in the hayfield.
Oh.
Out in the country.
Fun.
Yeah, I was making big money, man. $1.25 an hour.
Woo! Getting rich quick.
Yeah. But then, as I got older, I was 16 or 17. I don't know. It's hard to remember that far back how old you was. But anyway, another farmer hired me to work, and there was like 4 of us, or 5, however many he had, and he would pay $1 a bale of hay that we put in the barn. Now, so if there was 5 of us working there, that would be 20 cents a bale. Now that was big money there.
It sounds funny, but way back when,
Yeah, compared to $1.25 an hour. Because in an hour you could put, maybe 50 bales of hay in that barn. 50 times 20, that's what, $5?
There you go.
So I jumped from $1.25 an hour to about 4 or 5, somewhere in there, dollars an hour. That was my first job. There we go. Okay.
Oh, my first job, I beat you. I started earlier. I actually got a job at a convenience store from the age of 13 to 18.
Okay.
Went to school, came home, went to work, came back home, did my homework, went to bed, and then started all over the next day. Didn't have much time for anything.
All right.
During the summertime was a little easier because I didn't go to school, so then I had all the time to do whatever I wanted before I went to work. But that's what I did for those 5 years.
Yeah, working in a hayfield was just a summer job.
Oh.
But, back then, I had a car, and I had a 57 Chevy, which was just a 57 Chevy back then. It wasn't worth what you paid for them, But I could take $20, go to the gas station, fill that car all the way up with gas, and I'd buy a pack of cigarettes, which was like 35 cents.
Wow.
But anyway, I would get I'd take my girlfriend to the drive-in or theater or whatever, for the night, and then go out and grab a hamburger and french fries and stuff on the way back home, and still have change left.
Isn't that something? Can't do that now.
No. I seen the other day where the drive-in theater back in when it first started, what would I say, 42 or 47, somewhere in there, 1947, I think.
No, I don't remember.
The first drive-in theater cost 35 cents for a person to get in. 15 cents for each kid under 10. And now I think, it's going to cost you more than $5. That's ridiculous.
At a movie theater?
Drive-in, yeah, movie theater.
I don't know if they have drive-ins anymore, but I know that at one point the tickets were like $15 for a ticket. So
for a theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine what they are now.
There's a few drive-ins left, but you only get a handful of cars in there because I don't know what's something about people just don't want to go and sit in a car and watch a movie.
Yeah.
Except for the big, juicy dill pickle they used to sell, and the popcorn and candy bars. And, oh man! But back in my day, you could eat all that you want and still have change left over from a $10 bill. Where today, I think it would cost you $10 for a box of popcorn.
I think so.
Oh man! Okay. So the second job that I can remember now, I can't pull all of these out of the hat because I've worked so many jobs, just trying to find my way, feel my way through what I like to do.
Right.
There's a little restaurant. It was a little hamburger joint, and my job was when somebody ordered a cheeseburger with lettuce, pickle, and tomato, I would make that for them. We had to cook. They cooked the hamburgers. But then we would take them and put them together the way they ordered it and take it out to them. If they ordered plain with no cheese and maybe just mustard, that's all I did was I did that and took it out to them.
Yeah.
So that's my second job.
My second one was fun. 3 years on a farm. See, I did the farm thing too. Except with us, we was raising cows and pigs. You talk about a nasty smelling job working with pigs.
Mm.
And it's a lot harder than you would think.
Oh, yeah.
But, it wasn't so bad to see the little piglets when they were born. They were so cute. Speaking of, I'll tell you about this one incident. We went to an auction, and they had this little piglet. And when they brought it out, for some reason the thing could not stand on its back feet. And it pulled itself with its front feet. My ex-husband had the bright idea, well, we're going to bring it home, and when it's big enough, since it's not going to be good for anything, we're going to barbecue it. Well, unfortunately, good thing for the pig, we fenced it off in our yard because we was afraid the other pigs were going to hurt it. Well, my kids, being 4 and 6 years old, got attached to it. The thing scooted around with them everywhere. We named him Scooter because he couldn't walk. Well, he comes out one day and, we're going to barbecue that pig. The kids are crying. I turned around and looked at him. I said, no, you're not. He goes back in the house. And if I hadn't have seen this myself, I would not have believed it. I walked out, pointed my finger at that little piglet and said, you know what? If you don't start walking, your butt's going to be barbecue. I go back in the next morning, I come out, that little piglet was walking on all four.
Nah, he didn't want to be barbecued.
I couldn't believe it. I still to this day could not believe it. It's like he knew what barbecue meant. Well, this little pig ended up being like 300 and some odd pounds, huge family pet. But we moved and couldn't take it, so we ended up giving it to this guy we knew. And this guy knew that he was a pet, and he didn't have any pigs, and he wanted a pig. We went back 2 years later to see. That man still had that pig. That pig was his baby pet.
Wow.
So that was fun. Other than that, though, you know, I haven't really had any jobs other than, like I said before, babysitting other people's kids from the age of like 12 to, I think 35 was the last time I watched a kid.
Well, let's see. Second job, or no, that'd be my third one. I'm still in high school, so the next job, working at this little restaurant called Ellis's Cafe. It was in Mount Vernon, Illinois. And I thought that was kind of neat. You know, mostly I worked on the weekends. But the thing was, I liked what I was doing. I don't remember doing a whole lot there because I didn't last too long. I had to go in on Saturday morning, like at 5 o'clock in the morning, and open the back door and start the biscuits and gravy. And so, yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. And now they had this oven. I mean, it would hold 5 dozen rolls, you know, or biscuits. It was huge. And I put the biscuits in, and I started the sausage gravy, you know, and got everything going. A big pot. This pot was probably a 10, 12 quart pot, maybe more than that. I don't know. 15 quart. But anyway, it was a big one. And, you know, these stoves that they had was for restaurants. So it was a big stove. And I'm standing there stirring the gravy in, and the owner come in. Oh no, the biscuits! I thought, oh no, I forgot about them.
Oh no.
She opened up that oven door and the smoke just rolled out. She probably smelt it from the parking lot because of the vent, you know, taking the air out. And I didn't smell it because I was in there. And, well, them's all trash, you know. Oh, she's mad. And I said, whoopie-doop, you know. And she took all them biscuits out and just dumped them in the trash. I'd have scraped the little cruds off of it and ate them myself.
Of course you would have. You know, that reminded me. I forgot about that job I had. Your restaurant reminded me. It was only for a week because somebody that I was dating at the time, his father-in-law needed help with a cleaning of restaurants. That includes the vents, all that greasy crap up in there. Oh. We did that for a week. I didn't think that was going to be that hard. That was the messiest job I've ever had. And I would have kept it longer, but he only needed that 1 week because I guess his partner was out of town.
Yeah.
And when he came back, that was it.
Yeah. The next job I had, I got a job working at Kentucky Fried Chicken. And I'm still in school now.
Wow, see, I've been out of school for a long time.
That's what, like 4? 4 jobs I had in high school. But this one was on that work, I don't know, it was a kind of work program thing through the school.
Right. Now I think they call it VOTEC or something like that.
I don't know. I don't even know what they called it back then. But, you know, you get out of school at noon, and then you go to work.
Right.
And that counts as a couple of credits or whatever. And I worked there for the whole school year. And that's the only time I could work there was during the school year. Because they'll let people go and hold that spot for you, like if you go back the next year. So anyway, I fried chicken for a long time, and you know, and the thing that sticks out about that, you go to Kentucky Fried Chicken now, they got all their side dishes already made, you know, in a little containers. Well, back then, they This back in the 70s, 60, 69 to 70, where they had these, 35-gallon trash cans, the big round ones like this, about that tall. And they just, the lettuce was already ready, for the salad. What do you call that? The lettuce and mayonnaise and, come on.
Coleslaw?
Yeah.
That's cabbage, not
Oh,
lettuce.
okay, cabbage. Yeah. That's probably what throws me off.
Okay, yeah, I got it when you said mayonnaise. Yeah.
Yeah. So we had put all the cabbage in there, and we dump 3 gallons of mayonnaise in there or something like that, and the pickles and everything that went in it. I can't tell you everything that went in it. I'd be giving away KFC's recipe, because I probably couldn't remember it all anyway. But we dump all that in that trash can, and that's all they used it for. It wasn't for trash.
Right.
And then we would stick our hands down in there to where our shoulders was touching the rim to reach the bottom, right?
Right, you had to stir it up.
We had to stir it up by hand.
Ooh.
And, I don't know what other potato salad. We made it the same way.
Yeah.
And throw like a gallon or a gallon and a half of mustard in that, and all the stuff, the potatoes and everything that went in it. It was a mess,
It sounds like it was going to be a messy job.
Cut their own chicken up. They got their chickens in whole pieces, whole chickens in ice, and kept them in the cooler. And we'd have to cut all the pieces ourselves with a saw, the electric, what do you call them? I can't think of the name of them things because I never used one since. But it's the saw that you cut chicken on.
Okay.
And it's something like a meat slicer, but it didn't have the guard on it, and it just open blade.
Oh.
Yeah.
That could be dangerous.
Yeah, it was. Nobody lost anything over it, but
good thing.
Yeah. So, hey, I was making I think $4 an hour maybe. Working there. Well, like I said, it was just through the school year, and so that was a nice job. That's when I went and bought me that '64 Ford convertible.
Ew.
Yeah. It was all red, white interior, sharp car.
I did have one more job I just remembered, and it only lasted 2 weeks because, again, somebody needed help because some of the workers were on vacation. Houses. We was building houses. So I got to help hold up the plywood and carry the cement and the wheelbarrows to where they needed it and all that fun stuff for 2 weeks. Another hard job.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think, honestly, I would have wanted it too much longer than 2 weeks. Because it was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. It was fun, and I learned a few things, but, only 2 weeks. What the heck?
Well, that's about all the jobs I had while I was in high school. So what would that make, 5?
Mm-hmm.
I think. Then I went into service. That was a big job.
Oh, yeah.
I went in the Navy. I wanted to be a cook because working at KFC and the restaurants and stuff, I told them I want to be a cook. Okay, so they put me in a cooking class. I didn't go to the cooking class. I didn't get that far because me and another guy decided we wanted to be on a ship. And we told them, we don't really want this cooking job. We want to be on a ship. They said, really? Yep. Well, hang in there and see what we can do. And the next day or two, they told us, okay, you want to be on a ship? You're on a ship. So they shipped us off. I don't know where he went. I went to Hawaii on a ship over there. And they assigned me my duties, as a cook.
Well, you was a cook on a ship. There you go.
Oh, man. More or less like a cleanup type job, washing dishes and stuff. But
oh, fun.
I did get to peeled enough potatoes to feed 800 people.
Oh,
But they used like a washing machine, and it had little rubber things coming off of the agitator,
mm-hmm.
and they dumped the potatoes in that thing full of hot water, and they turned it on, and the agitator beat the skin off of the potatoes.
Well, that sure beats a potato peeler.
Oh man, yeah, you could do 100-pound potatoes at one time.
Wow.
Just had to know when to shut it off so it don't beat the potatoes up.
Oh no, ground potatoes.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. You know, I mean, it was high tech, modern back then. That was in '71. So that was. I got out of service. Then I tell you, I hit so many different jobs after I got out of service. It wasn't funny. So I'm not even going into all of that.
Well, you know, that's kind of good in a way because you learn a little bit of everything while you're trying to figure out where you do fit.
Right. I was a carpenter. I was an electrician. I was a mechanic. I was, you know, I mean, almost everything that there is in occupation, I've done.
So you know enough about anything
yeah.
that you could do anything.
Right. And now that I'm retired, if somebody has a problem with something, you know, they need the walls remodeled in their house, or if they need some electric wiring run or something, oh, they look at me like, what's this old man know? He ain't gonna touch my stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, so all that stuff that I've learned through all my whole life is almost useless now, except for myself.
Well, that's true.
And so I ended up finally working in a grinding wheel company that made grinding wheels for the electric grinders. That was fun. And then I worked in a place that made junk mail.
Made junk mail?
Yeah, you know this junk mail you get, you don't want, it goes right in the trash.
Did you want to rip up and send back to them?
Yeah. We ran, I don't know how many, every day. You know, I worked there for like 6 years, I think.
Wow.
And never run out of addresses to mail that stuff to. But that's how it goes. People sell your addresses and to other people, and then they sell them addresses they've got. And it's a real good business to be in. But I run a machine that folded all these little leaflets and pamphlets and booklets and stuff. You know, maps. We made maps for some state. I don't know which one it was now. You know how a map's folded up?
Yeah.
We had a machine that would fold it like that.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was fun. I worked for Even Flow. You know, a lot of people know about that. That's where you can buy your car seats and your strollers and things like that for your babies. And that was pretty fun there too. So other than that, you know, the last job I had was the warehouse where they made boxes for auto parts, big auto parts like the fenders and the roof and the hoods and stuff like that. And that was my last job. So yeah, I've had quite a few jobs in my life that taught me a lot of stuff, you know, that comes in handy now for myself. Oh, you got any more? You know, one more or not?
No, I think that was it. I haven't done a whole lot.
Yeah, that's. I wished I hadn't done as much as I did. I wanted to retire when I was 20.
I imagine a lot of people do.
You know, back then I was boy, I can't wait till I retire. You know, and well, how long you got to wait? 45 years.
Only 45?
Yeah, only 45 years. And now I'm telling people, I said, man, you about ready to retire? Oh, man, I still got 20 years to go. I said, oh, man, that is awesome, you know. But the thing about retirement I don't really like about it is you got to wait for all your friends to get off of work to visit them.
Yeah.
You know, they're working or whatever. And so, unless you know somebody that's retired, and I don't.
Me either.
You know, most guys go to Waffle House and talk to people that's retired all day long. You know, they'll talk all morning, you know, over a cup of coffee. And I never did that yet. But it might be a good thing to go and get out there and see what other people are doing and thinking about retirement, because that's a good place to go. Waffle House, and what's that other one called? The kitchen. It's the one that has their homemade pies and stuff.
Oh, I don't know.
I can't think of it. Everybody knows. Send us an email and let us know what it is.
I know if you lived in Florida, the good place to talk about people in their retirement would be at a golf course.
Oh, I played golf 2 times, and that was the end of it.
I've never played golf.
Yeah, it's fun in a way, but I don't like it. So anyway, my hobby is doing this radio show. We had several shows going at one time. We had this one going. We had geocaching show going one time. We had nature show, and we had, what else? We had some more. Oh boy, I had a Christian show going one time, and it's just it was something that I like to do, and I'd do it. But the older I get, the lazier I got, and so the less I do.
That's what happens when you retire. You get lazy.
Yeah. But now, I'm just settled down and sitting around trying to think of something to do, to make. Most of the stuff that I have, I made it.
We need to go geocaching.
Yeah, geocaching. Anybody know what that is out there? Well, if you don't, you look it up at geocaching.com/guide. And that's spelled GeoCaching.com/guide. And that'll tell you all the thing you want to know about geocaching. It's a fun game.
A lot of exercise if you like to walk.
Walking or driving around and seeing new places that you've not seen before. It's awesome. I've been doing that since 2011.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you. I don't know how many people heard this story about you going with the 2 women while I stayed home.
I don't think anybody on this program heard that.
Yes. He comes home and tells me this woman wants to go geocaching, but she doesn't want to go alone. Well, her sister was going to go, but she still, she was going out of state, so it was kind of scary for her, I guess, maybe. And she asked him if he wanted to go. Well, naturally, I didn't want to go because I wasn't into it at the time. And I told him, I said, you want to go geocaching with him? Go ahead. Well, I hear, are you sure? I said, yes, it's fine. Go ahead and go geocaching.
And I only know this woman from the internet.
Yeah. And he comes home with his head down because he thought I was going to scream at him for going.
To start with, I left home before it got daylight.
Yeah, and you got home after dark.
I got home after dark. But I made it up, didn't I? I called for a pizza to deliver.
Yeah.
On the way home, I called for a pizza to be delivered at the house. And go ahead.
Well, he tiptoed around me for like 2 days expecting me to scream at him. And the only thing I said to him when he came home was I looked at him and said, did you have fun? Yeah. I said, okay, that's what counts. So for 2 days he's tiptoeing thinking the crap's going to hit the fan. And I never yelled. And it's like I told him, if I didn't trust you, I would have told you no. I have no problem with you going geocaching with these people. So that kind of shocked him a little bit. And then he tells me this story of how...
It was a cave.
It was a cave.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get up, and they was pushing his butt.
Well, the girl, the one was wanting to go up there.
Yeah.
She says, grab my butt and push me up there.
And he told me this story.
I couldn't do it.
He told me this story. She wanted him to grab her butt and push her up. And I'm like, well, you know what? You have to get up there somehow.
Yeah.
and he's just looking at me like, what's wrong with this woman? When is she going to scream at me for me telling her I'm going to touch this woman's butt? It's a game. You got to, you had to have a way up.
So we ended up that they were going to grab my butt and push me up there.
Yeah, oh yeah, so the women felt his butt.
And I told her I'd keep in contact with her over the phone because we was in another state, probably 200 miles away.
Yeah.
I said, I'll call you whenever, now and then. And when we got there, it was a state park down in southern Indiana.
Right.
And hills and valleys and mountains and rivers and everything. Every now and then I'd get enough phone signal to call her, but sometimes it cut us out, and it was hard for her to understand. So when she could hear me, I said, "Okay, doing okay. Call you later." Okay,
that was
made it
it.
short. And yeah, that was really something else. So that was a fun trip there. And she wants to go back down there and get the rest of them that we couldn't get.
Oh, on that one long trail y'all was talking about.
Yeah, and I just don't know. It's not going to be as fun as the first one because that was measured as a 5 out of 5. 5 difficulty and a 5 terrain, and we was using ropes and stuff to get to that cave.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't think none of the other ones are going to be even close to that. But she wants to go somewhere and try to find another 5.5.
Wow.
Yeah, and now that was what, 8 years ago?
Yeah.
9 almost.
She likes them tough ones.
Yeah, and we're both old, Yeah.
Yeah.
We're probably both too old to be doing that stuff, for 5.5. But I mean, if we could go and get something easier,
maybe a 3.3.
Yeah, 3.3 or a 1.3 or a 5.1.
Just not a 5.5.
No, 5.5 is the highest rating on geocaching, as far as difficulty. So anyway, hey, if y'all think you might be interested in something like that, just look it up at geocaching.com/guide. All kinds of questions and answers on there that you might have.
Anything you want to know.
Yeah, and my stepdaughter was the one that introduced me to it.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to her on the messenger one day, and she says, "Well, I gotta go geocaching." And I said, "What is that?" She says, "Look it up."
Yeah, she didn't have time to explain it. Look it up.
Didn't have time to explain it to me.
But it's easier to look up because you can find anything.
So I did. I looked it up that night, and I signed up for it. They got a free and they got a premium. The free you don't get near as much,
right?
But it's enough to start with.
Mm-hmm.
And if you like it, you can go premium if you want. And that's $30 a year, but you can pay for it now, $10 every 3 months.
Yeah.
So, that was nice. So I looked it up, and I went out and found my first geocache, and I found my second one within a half a mile of the house.
Yeah.
And so I liked it, and the next day I paid for a premium. I mean, it was that easy, It hooked on to me like that, And then I got my wife to go, and she was going with her camera, taking pictures and stuff. But then she started finding the geocaches before I did.
And I wasn't even signed up for it at that time.
No, you was doing the free. And so what it was bad was when we got home to log it online that we'd found it, some of them she couldn't log because she wasn't a premium member. And that's where I learned the difference between the two, free and premium.
Right, and with the premium membership, they all show up, whereas if you got a free, you don't see the premium.
Right.
So you don't get to go see where they are or what they're about or anything.
But, since we've been back to Ohio, we hadn't been geocaching, but twice maybe?
Yeah.
It's just the weather wasn't right, I mean, we got here in November.
Right.
And we did go find the first one we found since we moved here. It was only 1/10 of a mile. That's
walking distance.
520 feet.
Right.
But we had to walk probably a half a mile to get to it because of the streets and the fences and
right.
things in our way, because they always show it in a straight line.
Yeah, that still wasn't bad, though.
No, but it was cold.
What was it?
It was only like about 25 degrees.
And 30
wind was 30 mile an hour.
Right.
Yeah. And going wasn't bad, and coming back, the wind's right in your face.
Ooh, was it cold?
Boy. Yeah. but we got it. Then we went maybe 2 times more after that.
Well, for a long time, we didn't have a car to go.
Yeah.
So that's why we couldn't go.
Trying to get some within a mile, because a mile not that far if it's a nice day.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we get some people that's interested in that, we might even start another podcast on it. But that is where you'd want somebody to call, and we record the show, where we can actually talk about it and then put it on the show. I can't call in live on this.
And one good suggestion, if you're just starting out, even if you're not just starting out, you should always take somebody with you, because you never know what you might get into.
Well, another thing, it takes somebody, if you know that they geocache, take somebody that knows they're geocaching.
Mm-hmm.
You'll learn a lot in one day.
And always have a rope handy, because you might need it.
Oh, we didn't need a rope.
We did that one on that one cache.
You'd think, on flat ground and stuff, you wouldn't need no rope, but we found a geocache one time that was down this embankment.
Steep embankment.
It was out in the woods, and I seen a tree where it was supposed to be at, because, after we've learned about it a lot. And so I said, well, I'll slide down the hill and get it.
Boy, did you slide.
It was a slippery slide down that hill. But I got down there and never thinking, how am I going to get back up?
I had no idea, because I was at the top of the hill looking at him like, what do we do now?
So I got the geocache, and I'm trying to climb back up the hill. I got about 3 feet up that hill, and that's all farther my traction would get me.
Back down he went.
Back down I went, man. So I told Tina, I says, find something, help me. help. And so she found this tree limb. It was probably about 10 feet long, maybe 15 feet long.
It was pretty long.
And so she grabbed that, and she stood there at the edge of the cliff thing and stuck that stick down there. Well, I took a run at it, and when I run as far up as I could go, I grabbed for that limb and I hung on. And she was hanging on to it, and I was climbing up that tree limb. And I says right then, we need a rope.
Yep.
And we didn't use that rope since we bought it.
No, we never
did.
But you always should carry one just in case.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you should carry just in case. And if we ever start a show back up on it, we're going to list everything that you need to take that you would never think of taking.
Yeah. Some kind of little first aid kit in case you get, because you get all kinds of scrapes and cuts and
sticker bushes,
like that.
Things like that, and and bug spray.
Oh yeah.
There's 1,000 things that you can take with you, and just those small, little daytime backpack or something, and that would do it, because all you had was your camera, and I had a small bag, and oh man, and if you get to a geocache that maybe the water got into it, and the little logbook that you signed, it might be wet, and you always carry a few extra log sheets to replace it with, and let the owner know that the sheet's wet, and you put a replacement in there. For some of them, I always carry an ink pen or a pencil, because people take them
all the time.
They'll either take one that's in there, or nobody puts one in there, and a lot of them are too small to put an ink pen in. So you have to. I'm just going to start a show, I think, and just go through the thing on geocaching and put it on here.
You can do that.
We could do that next.
It is whatever topics.
Maybe next week we go through some of the stuff about geocaching.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, we're almost out of time. We went way over our 30 minutes. We're at 40 minutes.
And I didn't get to do my joke.
No, we got time. Go ahead and do your joke.
Joke of the week. Little Tony was 9 years old, and he was staying with his grandmother for a few days. He'd been playing outside with other kids for a while when he came into the house and asked her, "Grandma, what's it called when two people sleep in the same room and one is on top of the other?" She was a little surprised at the question, but she decided to tell him the truth. Well, it's called sexual intercourse, darling. Little Tony says, "Oh, okay," and went back outside to play with other kids. A few minutes later, he came back in and said angrily, "Grandma, it isn't called sexual intercourse. It's called bunk beds, and Jimmy's mom wants to talk to you."
Alrighty. Hey, we hope you enjoyed the show. If you want to get a hold of us for anything, you can find us on the Facebook page at facebook.com/whatever topics, or you can even go to our group page at facebook.com/whatever, no, facebook.com/groups/whatever topics. You can go to our email is whatevertopics@gmail.com, and all these are spelled TOPIX. If you need to find out how to be on a podcast, you can call us at 239-285-1574. Daytime hours, like 10 to 10.
Right, that's
so
good.
we come up with 10 a.m., 10 p.m. We'll be around. And so all different ways there. And now we're on Spreaker.com. And, of course, if you're listening to us, you probably know that. And if you need to know a platform to listen to us on, let us know somehow, and we'll give you that information. I might even post it on whatever topics page, a list of all the different places where you can find us out there. So we have fun doing this, and we hope you had fun listening to us do it. And like I say, we try to keep a straight face while on radio.
Good thing they can't see us sometimes.
Well, I don't. I've got the looks for radio, and that's all I'm going to say about it.
There you go.
So I never make it on the videos or anything like that. I do. Oh, I'm even on YouTube. Even if you want to listen to us off of YouTube, we've got a YouTube account. We got all different kinds. I think it was like 15 or 20 different places you can listen to us from. So anyway, that's it. That's the end of it for this week. I want to thank our one listener for suggesting what today's topic was about. She is from Florida. I think it's a she. I don't know. All I had was a phone number. So I'm pretty sure it is.
I'm guessing
the way she
so.
talks, yeah. So if you're not, let me know. I'll straighten that out. Anyway, until next week.
See ya.